Okay, so today we're going to start calculating interest rates, working with interest rates, I should say, not calculating interest rates. So we got some more problems we're going to look at with percentages. Okay, and when it comes to these, we have two types. So we want to be able to calculate simple interest, all right, which is exactly what it says. Okay. And now, again, I know with percents and proportions, we've been using them like crazy. All right, and we could make that work here as well with these interest problems. However, it gets very tedious and involved. All right, so we decided to shift gears just a little bit. Okay, and we're just going to give you the formulas. I'm just going to give you the formulas for calculating interest. All right, and now it's just a matter of getting your values plugged into the right place and working them out. Okay, so let's say that we want to invest $750 in our savings account. The interest rate right now is 4.5%, and we want to do this for 5 years. Okay, so the question is, actually there's two questions. Number one, what would be our interest that we would gain after 5 years? And what would the balance in our savings account be after 5 years? Those are the two questions we need to be able to answer. And our formula will allow us to do that. So simple substitution here. Our principal, 750. All right, our interest rate, 4.5%. Okay. Remember, we want to use our decimal form here, so we want to move our decimal over 2 places. So our interest rate is 0.045, and our time is 5 years. Okay. Remember, time is based on years now. So once we calculate that out, 750 times 0.045 times 5 years, we get $168.75. Okay, so what did we just calculate? Well, that is our interest. So the bank will pay us $168 over 5 years into our account. So how do we calculate our balance? Our balance is our original investment, our original deposit, plus interest. So our balance would be $918.75. And again, we could make this work with proportions, but it would be rather tedious to try and cram all this information into some proportions. It's much, much, much easier to just use formulas when it comes to calculating percents and interest. So this will probably be one of the few times we do percentages and we're not making proportions or not encouraging that. We can just use our formulas. Okay, now that's what we would use for the top half of your homework tonight. That's just simple interest, okay, gained after 5 years. Another type of interest we have is compound interest. Okay, and this is a situation where even though we're going to make an investment, all right, even if we take our same values, $750 at 4.5% for 5 years, all right, even if we take our same value, the interest is going to be calculated differently here, okay, because compound interest means they're going to do this once a year. Okay, so that means your interest is going to be calculated 5 different times. All right, whereas up here on this problem, we're only calculating the interest one time, and it's based on 5 years, but we only calculate it one time. Down here, compounding it annually means they're going to calculate it once a year, or your interest will be calculated 5 different times. Okay, and so this tends to be more involved than the one above. So again, to make things simple for us, we're just going to use our formula that we gave you in class today. Okay, to calculate the balance, we're going to take the principal times the quantity of 1 plus the interest rate raised to the t. So again, simple matter, plugging in your values. Our principal was 750. We've already discussed this. We need to move our decimal over 2 places. So we're going to use 0.045 and we're going to raise that to the 5th power. Okay, again, that's a lot. So, but again, your calculator should be able to handle this. 750 parentheses 1 plus 0.045 exponent is 5, and we end up with $934.64 if we round that. Okay, so now again, is it a big deal? Well, simple interest you'll finish with $918 after 5 years. With compound interest, you would finish at $934 after 5 years. Okay, so again, we're looking at 16 bucks. But again, this is going to this earns you a little bit more money if we compound it annually. Okay, so top half of your homework, we're using this formula. Bottom half of your homework, we're using this formula. All right, simple matter of getting your values plugged into the right places and then get everything multiplied up. As always, bring questions to class tomorrow. If you have any, have a good night.